everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a one brand makeup tutorial using all Lakme makeup products. There's been a lot of new launches by Lakme in the recent times, and I have a one brand makeup tutorial of Lakme done before 3 years ago, so I thought it was time to do an updated one brand makeup tutorial for Lakme, and this is the look that I came up with. So if you want to know how I felt about these new launches along with the older makeup products as well, and also how I created this look, then please do continue watching. I sound a bit nasal because I'm not doing that well, so please excuse that. I'm going to start by filling in my eyebrows using the Lakme Absolute Micro Brow Perfector in the shade Charcoal. It's a very thin eyebrow pencil, so I'm just defining and filling in any gaps and combing my eyebrows through using a spoolie. To lay out a base for my eyeshadows, I'm using a concealer. This is the 9 to 5 Primer Plus Matte Liquid Concealer in the shade Cinnamon, and I'm just blending it out and setting it with some loose powder. For eyeshadow, there's been a new launch from Lakme. This is their Absolute Explore eyeshadow palette in the shade Purple Haze. So I took that matte mauvey purple shade first and applying that on the crease using a blending brush. Then I took a deep cranberry matte shade called Twilight and putting that right at the outer corners and slightly dragging it into my crease to add a bit more depth on the crease. Once the placement has been done, I'm gonna take a clean blending brush to smooth out and blend out the edges. Next, I'm going to take the shade called Soiree, I think. Please excuse me if I butchered the name, but it's a beautiful, rich, mauvey foiled eyeshadow. I tried to apply the shadow using my brush first, and then I felt like I should use my fingers for that extra punch, and my fingers definitely gave a bit more popping foiled effect on the eyelids, and it is extremely pigmented. And on top of that, I use the rose gold shade called Tinsel, which is a beautiful foiled eyeshadow again, and just put that right on the center. And as you can see, I have quite a bit of fallout with these eyeshadows, especially the shimmer ones, so I'm just wiping them clean before I apply my primer. For primer, I'm using their Undercover Gel Primer. This is also a fairly new launch from them, so it's basically like a silicone based primer which helps in filling up all your pores and creates a smooth even canvas before you apply your foundation and everything. So this is not very unique as well. It's the same exact thing that many other brands have, and it also has a little bit of a mattifying and oil control properties to it, so it's more suitable for oily skin types. For foundation, I'm taking a super new launch from Lakme. This is their Skin Dew Serum Foundation. I've got this in the shade Cool Walnut. The number is C380, which is the last darkest shade available. And I started putting that right from the center of my face, moving towards the perimeter. And immediately I noticed that the shade was so off because it pulled a lot more ashy on my skin tone. I like a lot of warm tone foundations, as you guys already know, and this wasn't really working for me at all. And as you can see, it looks very off from my natural skin tone and undertone. It just makes my whole entire face go gray, which I did not like about it. So I did the other side of my face as well, just went with the flow because this is a one brand makeup tutorial. And the coverage was great. It's got medium to buildable full coverage. The finish was also very beautiful. It's a very smooth, flawless finish, but the undertone and the shade was super off. So I took their primer plus matte liquid foundation in the shade Cool Walnut again, sorry, Cool Cocoa, and just tried to tone down the ashiness of my previous foundation and to bring some warmth to my face, and that sort of helped, but it was not the best in my opinion. So yeah, that's how the foundation went. They've also got a new concealer. This is a pot concealer. It's called their Cream Concealer, and I got this in the shade 24 Beige. So I just applied that using a brush on the under eyes, on the center of my forehead, on the bridge of the nose, the cupid's bow, and my chin. And it's a very ultra creamy, smooth concealer. and reminds me a lot of the MAC Studio Finish concealer. So that's how it was, and it has got pretty good coverage as well, and you have to blend it immediately, otherwise it would kind of set on the skin. So yeah, that's what I did. And then to bake and set my face, I took their classic rose powder in the shade Soft Pink and just applied that using my powder puff on the under eyes and baked them nicely, and also around the mouth area and on the T-zone as well. Now I'm just gonna finish off the eye makeup while the powder is baking. So I took the iconic liner pen, and this is their block tip, to create a winged eyeliner on both my eyes like so, and it's a jet black waterproof liquid eyeliner pen, and I absolutely loved it. Now for the lower lash line, I took the Lakme Absolute Explore eye pencil in the shade Invincible Purple, which is a beautiful shimmery purple shade, and just applied that on the lower lash line. And on top of my winged eyeliner, I use the same kohl kajal pencil by taking it on an angled brush and just smoking it out ever so slightly to soften my winged liner and create a smoky liner effect. Now I'm going to set the rest of the face wherever I did not use the loose powder. Of course, I dusted the excessive loose powder before this. So this is their 9 to 5 powder foundation in the shade Almond, and just applying that elsewhere where I did not apply any loose powder at all. I also added a bit more warmth and sort of toned down my foundation again by mattifying it at the same time. Now I'm going to finish off the lower lash line using the same teasel shade that I use on the upper crease, and just smoking my kajal ever so slightly on the bottom lash line. Coming back to the face, I'm taking the Lakme Absolute Facelift palette, and this is in the shade Sunkissed Glow, which was the darkest shade available. So I took the bronzer and applied it wherever I usually bronze my skin, such as the hollows of the cheeks, on the perimeter of my forehead, and all those other areas. It's a beautiful silky smooth buttery bronzer, but it also has a little bit of a glowy property to it, which adds a little healthy and flushed effect on the skin. That's something I liked from this bronzer. I use the same plum tone blusher from the same palette, face palette, and just put that on the apples of the cheeks and the sort of lifting it further up until the temples, and it was also very well pigmented as well and has a little bit of a sheen to it. I used their highlighter from the same palette. It's a peachy gold shade and went very well with my skin tone again, and it's a soft finely milled highlighter. You can also build it up for that blingy effect as well, or tone it down according to your taste. Now I got this lip liner from Lakme. This is also a new launch. This is their 3D lip definer in the shade Sepia. On the Nykaa website, it seemed like a super dark brown lip liner, but when I got it, I was so disappointed to see that it's a peachy nude shade and definitely doesn't work on my skin tone at all. Can you see? It's just washing my lips out and not really serving the purpose of a lip liner. So I was extremely disappointed and took that off. This is more suitable for fairer skin tones in my opinion, and the shade is super misleading on the Nykaa website. So what I did was I just took their matte melt mini liquid lipstick in the shade Wine Voyage, which is a beautiful dark wine maroon kind of a shade. So I just used that to first outline my lips and just mix that lipstick all over my lips to sort of act like a blotted lipstick and not like a very pigmented painted lip. So that's what I went for today's look. Now I'm going to set and lock everything in place using the Lakme Absolute Made to Last setting spray, which is a nice setting spray, but it also has a lot of hydrating property to it. So it's more suitable for people with normal to drier skin types because of the hydration it provides, but it also helps your makeup to mesh into the skin really well. And I'm just allowing the setting spray to dry and also applying some falsies to finish off the look. And here is the final finished look using all Lakme makeup products, especially with a lot of their new launches. Someone was also requesting me on my comment section to review this foundation, so that's how it went. I could have done much better with the foundation, especially with their shade range. This definitely doesn't even suit my skin tone, so people who have even darker skin tone than me may not find a match, and also their undertone is super off for our Indian complexions, in my opinion. So yeah, other than that, everything else was pretty much fine and worked pretty well. All the products that I use from Lakme will be linked in the description box as usual. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this tutorial. If you did, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up, comment, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Make sure to hit the bell notification to get notified each time I upload a new video on my channel. Follow me on my Instagram. I'll put the link in the description box. This is it. Take care of yourselves, and I shall see you guys soon in my next one. Bye.